as much of a fan as I am of that T-shirt, you know there's one of the other ones that's a bit more perfect for this video.
There is, isn't there? We should fix that. Chugs the shirt.
Is it in the drawer?
Yeah, it was in the white one. Look at that, you're footed on camera and I can't get in naked. Man, my farmer's tan is terrible on this. You know, the lights on it.
Oh God, yeah.
You can see it right there.
I assume I'm not. I assume I'm not allowed to put this bit even in the extended one.
No, because people keep complaining about not seeing my tattoos and it's funny. The footage exists now, there's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah, but I mean, you say that, but then the footage of you Carlton dancing existed and I deleted that.
Yeah. Right. The 1930s King Kong movie is largely considered to be a landmark of cinematic fiction, and the man largely responsible for coming up with the idea of a rampaging gorilla running through a city is one Merian C. Cooper, a man, it turns out, just really wanted to see a gorilla fist fight a dinosaur. Also, since it's Friday, this is a drinking video. We didn't put it in the introduction because I was changing my shirt, but it's a drinking one today. And also, Brad's not well, so he's also drinking. So what is it I told you, Brad?
You said if you're going to be ill, you may as well be drunk as well.
Yes, because you're going to wake up in the morning feeling like shit anyway. What the fuck's a hangover going to do? Because as far as I'm aware, hangovers don't stack with other status effects that the human feels, except for other hangovers. Because holy fuck, have you ever had a double hangover?
As in a 2-day hangover?
No, a hangover when you've drunk for one day and you get first of all, we address 2-day hangovers are a thing. Me and Brad, we're old as shit now. We get 2-day hangovers. It's the fucking worst.
Yeah, if I got a corp, I get a 2-day hangover.
Oh my God, yeah. But when you're 18, you get a 1-day hangover. That's it, you're done. 2-day hangovers, what it is, you get really drunk now, and then when you're still recovering from the first day of the hangover, you get another, you go out drinking again, and the next day you feel the effects of the tail end of the first hangover working in tandem with the second hangover, and you feel like you're going to die. Like, the only time I've ever felt worse is getting a cramp in my foot in the swimming baths. When you sink like a fucking rock with an adamantium skeleton. You go down, it's like, that's it, tell my wife I love her. It's game over. It's like, it's so fucking, you wake up, this is it. It's like, you just wake, like your eyes open, and you expect to see like a priest over you just saying the last sacrament. It's ridiculous.
Requiescat and Pace.
It's so, oh man, I think the only time, like honestly, my entire life I've ever felt worse than that like double hangover was when I had my appendix out when I was like 6. And I cried like a baby when I had that. The double hangover, I mean. I was like, I need McDonald's.
Have you got an appendix scar?
Yes.
Can I see it?
No. Karl, take your shirt off. No.
I mean, I won't put it on camera. I'm just curious.
About my appendix scar?
Yeah, I want to see.
Why?
Why not? I've never looked for it before.
You've never had reason to.
Next time you take your shirt off. You take your shirt off a lot in my room.
I get changed between videos. The thing is though, right, you are giving the fan fiction writers so much ammo right now. So, oh yes, Brad's nimble fingers explore the contours of Karl's body, searching for the scar. There's the opening line.
The opening line? We're starting there. There's got to be a bit of setup first.
No. I'm not about that lovey-dovey lifestyle.
Just get straight in there.
Brad, you know me. You've lived with me in the past. You know I'm not that kind of guy. Straight in, straight out. Jackhammer from start to finish.
I cut that out of a previous video because you said don't put this in.
The extended cut, maybe. I don't know. That's the beauty of these videos. They can go places.
I just think it's funny, like, because they say that you're always you're like, oh, because I get a change in my room. Like, was it yesterday you stayed over a little bit to do some exercise in my room because you couldn't be asked going to the gym?
Yes, you were sat there doing work and I'm there with my shirt off just doing fucking pull-ups.
It's like I'm staring at you on a screen and I look up and see you topless behind me.
Oh, God.
That's every fan's fantasy, isn't it?
That doesn't happen to us. Trust me, girls, it doesn't happen all the time. It fizzed up and sprayed everywhere. It's been a long time, sorry. Ugh. I'm sorry, Turbo Gorilla.
So you said the guy's name was Merian C. Cooper.
That's the one.
What was the deal with him and gorillas?
It wasn't just gorillas. He was apparently obsessed with all kinds of apes. It's just that gorillas were his favourite apes because he believed they possessed an innate nobility. Something I'm inclined to agree with because we all know there was one ape out there. One gorilla, I should say, who was a true bro. He took shots for us. We should take shots for him. Rip in peace, Harambe. Do you know what you need when I say that now? You just need that opening tinkle of See You Again. Do you like the little piano? Dun, 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 dun. That's still the best thing you've ever done in a video. The video about Paul Walker where you put it and you fade it into See You Again. No, I nearly cried in the cinema when they did that. I was like, no! No, Paul!
I could not believe in Fast and Furious 7, they put in such an emotional scene.
Of all films, in I felt more emotion watching Fast and Furious 7 than I did watching any other movie that came out that fucking year. It's crazy. And the thing that's cracked me up the most about it is, the longer it's been since that happened, the more I've come to respect Paul Walker's career. Because we talked about it yesterday, didn't we, Brad?
Oh, God, yeah, you blew my mind.
What was Paul Walker's first starring role in a major movie, Brad? Describe it to the audience at home as I described it to you.
Right, you might have to correct me on this because it's weird as shit and I may have get it wrong.
Okay.
Right, so if I remember right, he was a famous actress's boyfriend.
Denise Richards. Known from Starship Troopers and nothing fucking else.
And now the next line I'm going to say, people are going to expect you to correct.
Okay.
He died, and then
in the opening scene of the movie.
Yeah, and then his brain was put into a T-Rex.
No, a robotic T-Rex.
Right. Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
And then he went to parties and danced.
Yes.
And give someone the finger.
No, this is true. Paul Walker, one of his first ever starring roles in a film, it's called Tammy and the T-Rex, and Paul Walker plays a guy who's boyfriend with Denise Richards, who from Starship Troopers and nothing else, and he dies after getting eaten by a lion, which means we've now got footage that we can put in this video of Paul Walker being attacked by a lion, and a mad scientist takes his brain and puts it inside a robotic T-Rex, and Paul Walker goes on various adventures with Denise Richards, including one where he flips off the police from the back of a moving truck as a T-Rex. And then the film ends. So I've watched this film because it's fantastic. The end of the film is she removes his brain and puts it in a jar, and then she just strip teases for the brain. And the brain just jizzes electricity everywhere.
You saved that bit when you told me that yesterday.
This was saving it for today's video. I was been thinking all day, how do I get this in? Because Brad needs to put in the clip of the brain jizzing electricity scene.
So that time we spent before this to sign an article, were you looking at each one and going, how do I get Paul Walker
Brad,
into this?
you know I'm always going to get Paul Walker. If I want to get Paul Walker into a video, it's fucking happening. There's no way you can stop it. I was thinking, what's the easiest one? I saw Harambe, and there's another legendary hero who died that year. They're both up there right now, in Ultra Heaven. We need to bring that back. That's the best bit we've ever done. And it pisses me off that we need to do an entire fucking video on just who gets in. We need to sit there like a committee scene, me and you dressed as angels, just with a checkbox in, who gets in. And at the end of every year, we should do it. At the end of every year, we should just sit there and go, who died this year? Do they get into Ultra Heaven or not? That can be our thing. Just the end of every year, just go, you know what? Who gets into Ultra Heaven? And you can just read out a list of people who fucking died, and I'll go, no. Or yes, because I am the arbiter of this decision. Because I'm the one who created Ultra Heaven. Fuck you, it's my. I invented it. I can say what I want.
So he thought gorillas were noble creatures.
Yes.
But why specifically did he have this huge rock on for gorillas? Surely chimps are also noble as well.
I've never heard the term rock on, and that caught me off guard. I've heard the term chub on. Like getting a chub on, that's one that tickles me quite a bit. Or getting a lob on. But rock on, that's a new one. Thank you very much for introducing that to my vocabulary.
Have you not heard getting a slog on as well?
That's too far removed. The people asking, we're talking about getting an erection.
The people who can't quite figure it out.
Yeah, it's like getting a lob on is getting an erection. Like getting a chub, like you got a semi-chub. It goes in levels, you can get levels of chubness depending on how excited you are.
Yeah.
And you start with semi-chub, then you get max chub. Because it's my Modern Warfare 2. I bought it again because it got on the Xbox One. It's backwards compatible.
Yeah.
So I made a series of classes, and it goes from chub 1 all the way to maximum chub, and there's levels of chubness between. But that's besides the point. Anyway, yeah, it seems weird, doesn't it? Why gorillas of all apes? I'd say chimps are quite noble creatures. Even if they're not as noble as gorillas, I think they're quite classy because they drink tea in PG Tips adverts before they crack down on that shit and introduce an anthropomorphic stuffed monkey who stars on side Johnny Vegas.
Oh god, yeah.
Because people don't know what we're talking about. Actually, might be American or whatever. In the UK in the 90s, was it? I think it went all the way up to the 90s. Adverts for PG Tips, a popular brand of tea, used to star actual fucking chimps who sit there and drink out of mugs and teacups. And I always thought, how the fuck did they get that past advertising standards? We're bringing on these wild fucking animals to drink tea. In all my years of life, I've never once understood, the connection between chimps and tea. ever. And it's always pissed me off, like the fact they kept that advertising like idea going into the 21st century by like getting, like I said, like an anthropomorphic stuffed fucking monkey who talks to Johnny Vegas. It's like, why? What is it with monkeys and apes and tea? PG tips, what do you know that I don't? And is there anything like that pisses you off, like in advertising, where it's like they introduce a concept that only exists in the world of that advert? Like we've talked before about men not eating yogurt. Like in any advert advertising a yogurt, men don't know what yogurt is. Yogurt is exclusively a product eaten by women because they feel bloated. That's it. Is there any of those that I always confuse you?
Yeah, you know what confused me, right? I don't think that I would ever accidentally type compare the meerkat.
Yeah, it's not a thing. Thing is though, the person who came up with that, I think they went to Sheffield Hallam. Like where I went, fucking rock on. Yeah. Oh no, that's been ruined for you now. Damn it. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I think it was like, the idea was like a former marketing student from Chef Hallam came up with that. And they're apparently like, yeah, fuck you, Alexander Olof, whatever the fuck it is. One of the most successful like marketing icons of the 21st century. He's up there with like Tony the Tiger. Yeah. He's up there in like Animal Mascot Ultra Heaven. Just like chilling, going, yeah. He's there with a PG Tits monkey and Tony the Tiger. And who the fuck else do they get like, animals to advertise stuff? Like Captain Birdseye's there, but he's sort of at the bar like drinking on his own. He's a loser.
I like he said animals, then immediately said Captain Birdseye.
Exactly, because he's there, he's a mascot. But he's not an animal.
So he doesn't get to sit with them?
No. Like, Mascot Heaven's different, but he goes in there because he's a captain. Like, they've got to respect military service, haven't they? Serving on board the HMS Cod. I've always been weirded out, though, by the idea of mascots who advertise a product that's made from them. Like, have you ever seen, what's it now? There's a place in Sheffield people might know called, like, Freddy's Chicken. And their mascot is an anthropomorphic chicken.
Yeah.
But it's a chicken restaurant. That's like the most evil, like in the world eyes of chickens, that chicken is the ultimate betrayer because he's advertising for a company who sells his own kind as food. That's like, that is, oh my God, like, oh God.
You gonna stop trashing my room?
No. Think about, in the eyes of chickens, how evil that guy is. Like, the mascot for Freddy's fucking Chicken, like, there are loads of things like that out there. I'm pretty sure in America, there's a company that sells tuna, and their mascot is a dolphin. It's like, yeah, because their tuna's dolphin safe. It's like, well, he's fucking over every other denizen in the ocean at that point. He's like, fuck you, got mine, mascot form. It's crazy.
So let's take a step back again.
Okay.
And try and like not go off on one.
All right.
What was it about gorillas that Cooper was particularly fascinated with?
Like more so than other apes. Well, it's because of explorers back then who had this weird habit of making shit up. And obviously, like, back then they didn't have David Attenborough. He couldn't just go and say, this is what a gorilla is, this is what they do, this is how they live, this is what they eat. They only had the word of explorers, obviously had a vested interest in making their occupation sound as exciting as possible. So a lot of myths sprung up about gorillas in particular, about how big they were, about how powerful they were. And one myth in particular that greatly interested Cooper was that especially large, powerful gorillas would sometimes run out of the jungle and kidnap women and take them back into the jungle for unexplained reasons. Like an idea that, obviously directly inspired King Kong, who is a giant ass gorilla who steals a woman. Oh man, what's your favourite King Kong parody though? Because I'm obviously going to put a clip of King Kong in there. I want you to put the Simpsons one in.
I was going to say Simpsons
when
got
Homer is like the Homer King Kong parody, where he steals Marge and she tells him, maybe if he didn't eat so many people, he'd have more energy, and he's climbing like 2 foot up a fucking building.
He's out of breath.
Oh, maybe if your diet didn't consist like entirely of people you don't like, you'd be more like full of energy.
Oh man, that thing's parodied so much though. Like it's in Curse of the Were-Rabbit. It's in a film that we went to see recently.
Everything parodies King Kong. Spoilers, Wreck-It Ralph 2 parodies King Kong. Everything does. It's like one of those iconic, like as I said, it's an iconic moment in cinematic fiction. And I think that's like the greatest honour a film can achieve. It's like basically it's immortality in the fact that I'd say it's like Titanic is the most recent example of that, because I haven't seen Titanic up until very, very recently.
What?
I felt for many years though that I had, because of how often it's parodied. Do you think of any other film like that where it's parodied so much that even without watching it, you kind of know what the film's like about?
I've never seen Scarface, which is one of those ones I mean to watch, but I've seen that particular
you've
scene
seen it
parodied so much.
so many times. Like, not even like just one particular scene. Because obviously there's a lot of films where they have scenes that are parodied, but not the entire movie. This is a great quote from one of the writers for The Simpsons who said, we could probably do a shot-for-shot remake of Citizen Kane because we've like parodied it and referenced it and homaged it so much in The Simpsons. And I think that's the point of movies. Like, that movie will live forever. That will live forever in cinematic canon because, like, even like 100 or so years later, people are still fucking referencing it. Yeah. Well, I'd compare Titanic to The Matrix.
Yeah.
The Matrix, obviously, very good film. The first one, at least. What's the one thing from The Matrix everyone parodies?
Bullet time.
Bullet time, yeah. And how many movies can you think of? Like, there's Charlie's Angels, Kung Pao, a bunch of other bullshit where they parody that one scene where the person goes into the air, the camera spins around, they do the kick.
Or they do the one where they go backwards, dodge the bullets.
But what other scenes in that movie have been parodied? Not many. Maybe like, the scene where Morpheus offers him the pill or whatever. Think about Titanic. How many scenes from that have been parodied? Quite a lot of them, to the point where the major plot beats of the film can be like I did, picked up just via pop culture osmosis. And I think that's the point of films like, that's a film that's going to go on. You never thought about that then? The idea of like a film
being so excessively referenced.
Yeah, that it can be parodied.
I mean, one thing it does do is it makes it a bit shit to like go back and watch the films you haven't seen. Like, fortunately, I haven't had enough interaction with Citizen Kane, like knowing it's a Citizen Kane reference. But then I reckon if I watched it now,
you'd see all the references.
I'd basically watch it and go, well, I know what's going to happen. It's like
the thing is, it's not even that you know what happens. It's like Casablanca or something. You know what the ending's going to be. Like,
it's
play
like
it
Usual
against
Suspects. Like, fortunately, I watched that without knowing that the references I was going to see are those references.
Yeah.
So I got to watch the end of it. And like,
I don't think it ruins the movie though. It's more you have to have like a critical eye, and you can see it from the time period it was made. So I had this discussion with a friend the other day about old video games because he's having a kid. And he was like, I'm really worried that like my child will not be able to appreciate video games that I like because they're old or because they look bad. And that's a genuine worry for him because he loves video games. And I found myself thinking, yeah, that is a point, because I remember when I was in school and I fucking loved like Super Metroid, and I'd tell my mates about it, and like, that game's old, it's from the system like from like 5 years ago. What's it going to be like for someone like, oh, that thing's old as shit, it's from 20 fucking years ago. So it requires that critical eye to be able to appreciate it for the time it was made.
Yes, recently I've been wanting to record a playthrough of me going through the first Silent Hill, but the concern
that's the example we actually came up with, because it looks bad, it plays bad, and it's really, really fucking like obtuse to get into, but it's still a phenomenal fucking game.
So would people who've never interacted with that game or even the franchise be interested in watching something that old?
Probably not, no, because it looks bad, it plays bad, and it's really difficult to get into. But at the same time, you need to, and that's the thing, you need that critical eye to look at it and say, okay, I know it looks shit by today's standards, I know it's clunky and the controls are bad. You have to appreciate how, like, groundbreaking this was at the time.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe hello to the people watching the extended version on my own channel, because this is no way anywhere near interesting enough to make it into a drunk video, because people expect those things to be a mile a fucking minute. But I do love these conversations. It's a shame that I always get quite out of videos like no fucker gives a shit about them, which is very meta.
Yeah.
No one cares about this stuff because it's not funny and easy to like, digest.
I find it interesting because obviously this will be one of those bits where, because the way I do when I edit the videos,
Yes.
I go through them first and just keep everything that I would consider to be
Interesting,
worth
but then you have to ring.
Yeah, then I
you
have
think
to go
it's
through
interesting. Would Joe Blogs Mr. I'm watching YouTube on my iPad, who comments saying get to the fucking point, in a video where we go on 5 different tangents which discuss like multiple facts that you may find interesting.
It's like when I do the second pass, I have to, like, for example, this bit, I'll get to the, like, maybe a minute into it and go, well, I know that the next 10 minutes at us having a chat and
Yes.
no one's going to watch that in a video about King Kong. So that whole bit just gets cut wholesale.
Despite the fact it probably would be interesting, but to a smaller selection of people.
Yeah. Well, it might be interesting to everybody, but they're not there to watch that.
No, they want to see a 10-minute video about like the guy who was made God King Kong was obsessed with gorillas. It's one of my favourite things I see on like. It doesn't happen much with our videos because we don't have titles that say it. But today I found out when it's a fan question, which I do. If people don't know, I answer most of them because they get sent to me first, and if I say I'll do it, I'll answer that question and research it. And it'd be like, I think one recently was like, can you land a helicopter in a McDonald's car park? So I researched it, I did a load of bullshit like that. I did check out the FAA website and all the rules pertaining to flying a helicopter in, like, a busy area. And I just saw a comment saying, too long, didn't read, like, colon, yes. I thought to myself, what a binary way of looking at the world you have. You can't, you can't watch this and see like all the cool, interesting, extra shit I dug up, or you can't like absorb some like the stuff like you would never encounter in your day-to-day life. Like here is like quotes from like the FAA guidebook on why helicopters can fly, which I find interesting as all fuck because like only like 400 people in the United States give a shit about that because like they're the people writing the rules. It's like, isn't this cool? But like exposed to a wider audience to get like they have like now a more nuanced like like vision of the world they live in. So no, fuck it, tell me the answer in 2 seconds or less and complain about it being 10 minutes long.
Well, it does happen occasionally in our comments. I remember, I think it's ages ago, it might have been the Henry VIII one.
We get one here saying, get to the point.
Someone put, why do you take 5 minutes to get to the point? It's like, because the title is there to bring you in, but the rest of it's all meant to be interesting facts as well.
Yeah, stuff like gets to me because obviously my background is stand-up comedy and performing. The worst thing you can have as a performer is like an audience who don't care. Like, it's always said like booing is better than the audience ignoring you, which obviously anyone who's performing can say like, I'd rather have an audience booing me than not paying attention, which I've had before at stand-up shows when it's like a stand-up show at a bar, but the stand-up show's not the draw of the bar, and you'll get those people at the back who are sat there not paying attention to the set, and it's so fucking demoralising. I'd rather them booing me, it's at least they're paying attention. It's the same thing with YouTube. Like you get those people like, you're watching the video, I'd rather have you booing me than like watching and go, get to the point. Oh. Let's not put that bit in. I feel like that point is undermined by the shit tierness of my slap in my chest. Like Paul Walker himself would be like, Karl, stop it.
Let's not put that bit in. After that 15-minute conversation.
I don't know, I love talking about stuff like that, but
it's an interesting topic.
It's very meta, isn't it? Where this is something that is like, it appeals to both me and you, and it's something we both have a great deal of interest in, and obviously a good majority of our audience is like interested in our opinions on things, but we can't express those opinions in a video because it would not appeal to the vast majority of people who watch the videos. Because our audience and our fans are a very different thing.
Yeah, because I currently try and hack the videos down to less than 15 minutes
and
try and make it relevant.
Yeah, because fans of the channel didn't like people who watch the videos. Like, cause obviously when people who are watching this video, not this version obviously, but the version we edited down and cut down to feel the funny parts, who isn't a fan of the channel, they're just like, they want to get the information. They have it in like a fucking playlist somewhere on YouTube, so they don't care. They just want to hear, talk about the gorilla.
Should we talk about the gorilla?
Let's talk about the gorilla. Right. Now, while you would think that a guy obsessed with the idea that maybe somewhere in the world, giant gorillas were stealing women away and taking them into the jungle, the idea of a giant gorilla doing the same thing with a woman and like taking the top of the Empire State Building would come naturally, that isn't the case, because it turns out when Cooper first formulated the idea for the film that would eventually become King Kong, the gorilla in it was supposed to be normal sized.
That's no fun, is it?
Yeah, no, like, gorillas are awesome, but can you imagine King Kong with a regular-sized gorilla? It would end exactly the way the story of Harambe did. The moment that gorilla touched a single hand on the hair of that young maiden's head, 40 snipers doing 360 no-scope just take him out. And that's just not a film I want to see because it brings up too many memories.
I'm not like overly familiar with the whole Harambe like actual incident, but I don't recall the 360 no-scopes being there.
They were there.
Yeah.
Those guys go for high points.
A film about a regular-sized gorilla sounds kind of boring.
It does, doesn't it, compared to, like, a description of the film King Kong, which is about a giant building-sized gorilla kidnapping a woman and climbing to the top of the Empire State and like slapping planes out of the sky. So to point out that in Cooper's original treatment of the script, this regular-sized gorilla was going to get into a fist fight with a Komodo dragon. And you're probably thinking, Karl, why a Komodo dragon? And apparently Cooper, in addition to being obsessed with apes and gorillas, was obsessed with the letter K, and his absolute favourite word was Komodo. So when he had the idea for a giant gorilla in a movie, like giant, like, as in like realistically giant, he wanted it to fight a Komodo dragon. And you're probably thinking, Karl, gorillas don't live on the island of Komodo. I'm pretty sure gorillas don't even live on the same continent as Komodo dragons. You know what? Cooper thought about that and he said, yeah, it's fine. I'm sure audiences won't mind about a minor factual detail like that being wrong. evidently not like predicting the future in which like nitpicky assholes dominate film criticism on the internet in the future. Myself amongst them.
So what was Cooper's plan for actually like realizing the fight?
What, between a Komodo dragon and a gorilla?
Yeah.
He was going to get a real gorilla and a real Komodo dragon and then film them beating the shit out of one another and then edit it so that the gorilla won. Remember, this was a film that was going to be pitched for the 1930s. They didn't give a fuck about animal rights back then. Peter was just like, an idea in like, the mind of a sperm in some guy's balls back then. They didn't give a fuck. So Cooper's idea was literally get a gorilla, put it in a cage with a Komodo dragon, film the gorilla beating the shit out of the Komodo dragon, and then like get a guy in a suit for the rest of the movie that's supposed to escape. Because the basic plot of the original movie Cooper had in mind was essentially King Kong with a regular sized gorilla. Gorilla fights a Komodo dragon, someone captures the gorilla, take it back to a zoo, the gorilla escapes, goes on a rampage, kidnaps a woman, the end. I'm not going to say anything like, Cooper's dead now, but I'm just going to put it out there. If your film plot involves a gorilla being captured and taken back to a zoo, maybe put the Komodo dragon in the zoo so the audience has to suspend their disbelief to say somehow there's a secret island out there on which both gorillas and Komodo dragons evolved at the same time to the point where they fight each other over resources, despite the fact gorillas are mostly herbivores and Komodo dragons are big dicks who headbutt fucking trees to like down stuff. You heard about that?
No.
This is my favourite thing. Joe, like Komodo dragons.
Yeah.
Do you know how they like if they eat something that's too big for to swallow? Like what does a snake do? It just spends
digests it.
Yeah, it spends all day going. Do you know what a Komodo dragon does? They run mouth first into tree trunks to force the food down their throat to stop other Komodo dragons stealing it.
We've all been there, haven't we, Karl?
Yeah, so bonus fact, Komodo dragons headbutt trees to swallow food faster.
Don't they also have venom or?
I think it's just that their spit's just so full of shit that it poisons people who bite it.
So his original plot still had a gorilla getting captured, going to New York and kidnapping a woman.
Yes.
But how did it end up going from gorilla versus Komodo dragon to giant gorilla versus T-Rex?
Well, the story behind that is that, obviously, Cooper was told that, you're fine to film a real gorilla beating the shit out of a Komodo dragon. That's okay. But we can't have a real gorilla run around New York City. So there are different ways you can realise that. One of which is getting a guy in a costume. The other of which is getting stop motion. And stop motion obviously a very new technology at the time. So Cooper went to a studio and he met a guy who did stop motion. And to showcase the capabilities of stop motion, the guy animated a toy dinosaur walking around. Cooper saw it and was like, holy fuck, that looks amazing. Also, wouldn't it be great if my gorilla fought a dinosaur? And then obviously that stop motion guy went, that's cool, but aren't gorillas smaller than dinosaurs? He went, fuck it, it's a giant gorilla. And that is how King Kong went from being a regular gorilla to King fucking Kong. Because Cooper literally saw a guy playing with a dinosaur and went, I want to see a gorilla beat that shit up. Because obviously when he first walked in, he was of the mindset that, gorilla fighting Komodo dragon, that shit's cash money. But then he went and saw, but wait a minute, dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are way cooler than Komodo dragons, but gorillas are small. But hang on, I'm making a movie. I can do whatever the fuck I want. Giant gorillas!
He sounds like a little kid.
A little kid who happened to make one of the most influential films of all fucking time.
So what you're saying is the only reason King Kong as we know him exists...
Yeah, a giant-ass gorilla who doesn't take shit from no one.
The only reason he was in a film in 33 and 76 and 2005 and whatever
and a remake was going to fight Godzilla.
The only reason is because some guy who loved gorillas saw a pretend dinosaur and went, I want to fight it.
Yes. That is how King Kong became a thing. A guy in the 1930s who loved gorillas wanted to see them fight the most badass animal on earth, which he assumed was a Komodo dragon, until he saw a dinosaur. At which point he went, nah, fuck this, make them fight. Realised, oh no, gorillas are quite small and dinosaurs are quite big. Fuck it, giant gorilla. And that's how King Kong was born. That's the best. That's amazing. I respect that so much. I love gorillas so much I want to fight a dinosaur. And then he realised his dream, and now I get to see King Kong fight Godzilla.
Godzilla is pretty much just a gigantic dinosaur.
I know, and can you imagine how much of a fucking rock-on Cooper would get if he knew that, like, you know, nearly 100 years in the future, his brainchild, his baby, would eventually be realised in a film when he gets to fight a 500-foot tall, atomic laser-firing dinosaur monster, while they also fight other larger dinosaurs. Oh, it's the best. He's doing the Vince McMahon face all over that shit. It's like, oh. It's almost like that fucking Galaxy Brain meme where the guy ascends to levels of consciousness, like gorilla fighting Komodo dragon, gorilla fighting T-Rex, gorilla fighting giant atomic monster, gorilla teaming up with giant atomic monster to do mega suplexes with, like, you know, atomic fire breath assisted combos. I can't wait. Just the best bit of that movie, isn't it? Like, I think the skull crawlers in, like, you know, Kong Skull Island were based on Komodo dragons. I'm not 100% sure, but I do think they are a nod to that original, like, you know, script treatment. Because, like, the skull crawlers are, like, directly based on Komodo dragons, and it's too obvious a nod to not be a knowing one.
Yeah.
Because, like, otherwise, it's like you accidentally made the most badass version of King Kong that the guy who created King Kong wanted to exist, and he's now in his, like, coffin with his giant erection, just going, yeah.
Yeah, the start of this, you want to know the definition of a rock on. It's what that guy's got, just seeing that.
Right now, in heaven, watching fucking, like, oh yes, King Kong is fighting a giant version of Komodo dragon and doing literally rock-assisted elbow drops to Komodo dragons with skulls on their head. Holy balls. So Brad, I think it's fair to say we went off on one in this video, and I believe right now we've been recording for an hour.
Over an hour, yeah.
Yeah, in a video that's probably going to be, what, 10, 15 minutes long? And obviously there's a lot of, like, you know, redundant information in there. It's like me repeating lines. So I was like, for some reason, not able to say them properly. But we do record a lot of stuff which is basically just like genuine conversation between ourselves. We don't put in the video itself, do we? And I thought we'd talk for a bit, because obviously we like to get, you know, a bit self-reflective in these drinking videos, about what are your thoughts on, like, you know, how our current format works?
Something I find quite interesting is how difficult it is to get, like, those moments where me and you just die laughing.
Yeah, so if people don't know, me and Brad, like, improvise the majority of the videos you see. We have an article on my website that I write, which can be from, like, a week ago, it can be from, like, 3 years ago, that we basically read through once and then go, okay, let's riff on this for however many minutes until we get, like, a usable video. And you were concerned, weren't you? Like, oh, Karl, we've not had a moment where, like, we broke down laughing. But the thing is, you can't plan on that. And obviously, if people are watching these videos enough, you'll see, like, earlier this week, you know, me and Brad absolutely lose our fucking shit over one particular thing, which we recorded today. So if I had to say, Brad, Archangel Michael's first, so yeah, you can see it already, because we laughed, but we can't plan it. And I feel that is both a drawback and a benefit to the way we record these videos, because every now and again we'll get that gazelle moment. The video we did about, like, you know, gazelle styling on lions, and we just, like, we fucking click that day and we record the most hilarious shit ever. But every now and again we get that Rick Astley one. If you watch the Rick Astley video, you might not know, we recorded that for an hour straight, deleted all the footage we got because we literally had nothing usable. So when me and Brad record, every single time we have to be mindful of the fact this might not be funny. And I'm glad that we've only had, like, what, 3-4 videos where we both sat down and gone, that wasn't funny. Because, like, either the topic didn't gel, we didn't get nothing, like, sparks on, like, you know, random conversation, no tangents were made, and it's weird to think that our success is based on the fact that our personalities clash in this very specific way. Because if we were just, like, what, reading out an article I wrote verbatim, we could make 100 videos without any issue, because I've written fucking 700 fucking articles for Fiend, the website, that we could just, like, okay, Karl, read this out loud to a camera, boom, upload that shit. But that's not what we have to do. And there's, like, a load of, like, behind the scenes that people don't realise. It's like, based on what Brad feels like that day, we might not do a particular video. So for example, today, Brad, you don't feel very well, do you?
No, I feel pretty wank, mate.
Yeah, and you look pretty wank as well, but that's besides the point. And we went through, 3-4 ideas for like a video that we saw, like, oh, this article will be hilarious, but it's too long, or it's too complicated to talk about while you're drinking, or while I feel ill, because we won't be able to, like, riff on it enough. And other people have to worry about that. It's intriguing to me.
You know what? One thing I just thought about, like, obviously I said we record like maybe a 30-minute raw cut sometimes, and it gets condensed to 10 minutes. I'm the sole person who has to decide what's funny.
Yes.
Like, every video that goes up, evidently, I'm there having to pick out the bits that I think are funny.
Yeah, and if people don't know, I give Brad 100% creative control of what goes into a video or not, which is why you'll sometimes see clips of me saying, that won't go in.
Don't put this in.
Presumably, there's one of those in this video, because there were several times I said that.
You did. I don't know if I'll make it in. I'll have a look.
But I give Brad carte blanche to say, if it's funny, put it in, even if I say don't put it in. Which I have said multiple times in multiple videos, and I've agreed the fact it was pretty funny. You should have put it in.
There's a couple of times where I've said on the day as well, when you said don't put that in, I'm like, can I put that bit in? You're like, no, that bit can't go in.
Yeah,
so
that bit still makes it in. Because I say, Brad, you are the closest I'm going to get to while recording these videos, the outside perspective, so you know what's funny. So obviously I don't want my best moments to go in, but sometimes me being human or making mistakes are funny. And I will, if it was just me and some random chuckle fuck who didn't know me, he would cut those bits out. But sometimes those bits like humanise me. So I appreciate that, but
Humanise you.
I don't know. I don't know how to word it.
I know what you mean.
I don't want to sound big-headed, but are we the only people who do this? Like, audience at home, if you're still watching this video, is there another channel that exists that is like comparable to the one we have right now? 'Cause I don't think there is.
I mean, there'll be other channels that exist through improvisation, but maybe not in the same way.
Yeah, like, can you think of any channel where their basis is facts, but they improvise the facts? Because, like, you think, facts channel, you need research and a script. And we ignore both of those things to think, fuck it, also chatting about bullshit.
It does help that you have an almost eidetic memory that comes to some of the... Like obviously you'll occasionally get the thing wrong and I'll snip it out, but obviously the main article, the facts are written down, but you come up with so much shit, and I double check it and go, that is right. Like I said, like, there's every now and then you'll say there's a date wrong, or you'll say this, you'll get the person's name
and the dates, but
or you'll
generally facts. I always remember facts.
Yeah, and like I'll cut things out because you remember a story, but you get the name wrong.
Yes.
And I'll be like, well, I can't put it in because you've like named, I don't know, an ex-president.
Well, you've messaged me saying, yeah, you got everything right except the dude's name, so I had to cut a 4-minute fucking tangent, which is hilarious, but it's not factually accurate, so we can't put it in.
It's like...
So you misremembered one fact, and we don't want to get in trouble for we don't feel like shitting on, it's like, you got a guy's name wrong, or something like that.
It's like Insider Knowledge, Milo of Croton. We did a little bit in about Hercules.
Yes. And that had been Polysidama or whatever.
Yeah,
which you found a fact, which is based on an article I fucking wrote. Because the original article was for a channel I wrote for. They did it, and I just got mixed up between two huge buff men who wrestle bulls.
At the exact same time period.
Yeah. Which is evidently not okay, but it's very strange. It seems very big-headed to say we are unique, but I have never, in my, 5-10 years, Ben and I have written online for 6-7 years now, I have never experienced a channel who do things exactly like we do. I've never seen a channel where the person who is like the face of a channel hands off so much control to the person in charge of it. So you are the voice of this channel as far as I'm concerned, because you are the one who decides what I say. Even this might not make it fucking in, because I burped just then. You might think, it doesn't flow okay. Fuck it.
But then you saying it, you might not put this in, makes me think it might end up going
Exactly. In. And that's the beauty of it. But it's a question that genuinely intrigues me of, is there anyone else out there who does this? Because describing yourself as unique is the most up your own ass, blowing smoke thing you can do. But at the same time, I can't think of one. Can you think of fucking anyone Like, you know, and follow, who'd be like, yeah, I'll let my editor decide what I sound like on the day. And then, if these are, you know, 'cause I tell, like, how much influence do I have of the editing process?
Almost zero.
Zero.
I think like once in like every 3 or 4 months you'll go, oh, I wouldn't mind that bit being in.
Yeah.
And then usually I don't put it in because I've
Yeah.
already exported
Yeah.
it. Right? It's, actually, now you do mention it, it is a bit of an odd thing that you do, like, you trust me to put out there some, like, because I see it as, like, if it was me, I wouldn't want when you tell, like, the occasional story where you go off on one about an ex-girlfriend or something embarrassing, I know I'm not putting that in.
But at the same time, so think about it. There are a lot of double acts out there on YouTube out there, and they have this, like, you know, false persona. We're best mates, we do everything together. But they must have, like, a guy who edits their videos. Can you think of any other double act where they'd let the other guy edit what the world sees about them? I'm genuinely curious. I don't know if there is. Because, like, as far as I know, we're the only person doing this shit. We've got a very visually distinct style, but it's a question that I feel big-headed asking myself of, are we the only channel who does this? Because on YouTube, there is always someone trying to rip someone else off.
Yeah.
And so we're very obviously trying to ape like the success of today, I found out, because that's what inspired the creation of this channel. But I feel we're distinct enough to not be compared to them. But at the same time, I can't watch every YouTube channel. So people at home, are we copying someone else?
I do know other channels where, like, I know one where there's people who basically read verbatim and then have, like, a joke with someone behind the camera.
That's the thing,
at the end of each sentence.
The thing is, though, the joke's normally planned.
Yeah.
How often, Brad, obviously being honest, I will feed you lines sometimes like, you know, prompts and responsible. Do we ever plan jokes or tangents?
The only time that any that have ever been what you would call planned in inverted commas is if we say something through improvisation and then go back to redo it because we fuck up a little bit later on.
We decide that's a funny tangent and then go back.
We can get something from that. Let's redo that line.
Re-record the prompts that inspired it and then go on a better one. But yeah, like, 'cause you know, like my background's improvisational. Because you know my background is. Because you know my background's improvisational comedy. So if you... Sorry. What was my point?
I don't know. Should we just start?
Yeah.